Alright, hello. This is going to be the Sparta tier list. I'm gonna make this 100%, my opinion, what I've seen, and what I actually think, right? So, if I really think someone is quote unquote better than me, I am going to for sure rank them higher. That's the first thing, right? Uh, for one, let's see. I need a star emoji here. And why not? I'm gonna use this emoji right here. Okay. This is going to be what I've seen recently in other leagues in OSL. This is just generally who I think is just the best jungler, right? We're going to ignore all these notes here. Let's see, delete notes. This is going to give a better explanation of the tiers, right? I'm gonna go probably up to down here. There we go. Why not do in alphabetical order? Okay. First thing here, Airhead. Oh, delete note. So Airhead is a very interesting one. His mechanics on certain gods are really bad, like Ravana. And then he has really good gods, like he has Susanoo, Maman Bridget, which Maman's always a really good god to have in your arsenal. One thing I noticed in as jungle, he doesn't really do comms on when to go in. He will say general things like objectives, but he will never really call things out from the games that I've at least seen. And when he does call them out, he'll say, I stunned this person. But he'll never specifically say like when he's going to do something. He will say it after the fact. And reiterating something like that, I just think it's unnecessary comms, honestly. Like Air, in my opinion, needs better jungle pathings, needs to look for the win condition a bit more. He usually knows what lane to play off of, but sometimes he tries to help lanes that are not the win condition. And I don't think that is a great quality to have sometimes. You should always try to play off your win condition lane and try to like in the early, mid, and late game. You may have different win conditions, and you want to play on that side of the jungle. You want to start invading their camps. Like yeah, if you want, you go for second blue. But if your win conditions in the dual lane, you want to be in the dual lane, right? He also typically doesn't sentry the jungle that much. That's another thing. He loses 1v1s to most junglers I've seen. With all that being said, I am going to place Air in the C tier for now. I think he has potential to be B. Like if we're talking about his bridge or maybe his Susano, I may say high B or A. But just as an overall, I do think he is a C. That's just really how I feel about it. Aurora, um, has a decent god pulls. He really likes global ultimates typically, and his comms are clean about when he's going in, about what objectives to do. He doesn't have to be the main shot caller on a team, but he is someone that's like, all right, guys, let's focus up. He knows how to keep things in control generally. Even if he's tilting, he won't be an ass until after the game. He will stay focused in most games. With all that being said, his target selection, he knows who to target. He sometimes he doesn't call out in comms. With all that being said, I don't think he's a bad jungler at all. I'll put him a solid A tier, honestly. Even his performance in Underworld, when him and Phoenix, I don't know how to pronounce his name really, but when they were both jungle, I think Aurora played it way better. They defeated stronger teams just with the communication, with the Rat-Tasker ult, with Aurora, Looney's teamwork. It was really good, right? I'm gonna put him A tier. Tangents. Tangents. I'm gonna get this out of the way first. For one, when I did team with them last season, I didn't really have many problems with tangents. But he does have a bad mental, right? If his mental goes, then he goes. He performs way worse. His gut pull is like Loki, Mercury, and those really incompetitive. Those really aren't the gods you want to see. And the thing is, before I mentioned about timers, he didn't really know how to invade properly. He didn't look for invades, he just looked for hyper ganking. And I have to say, depending on the team, hyper ganking could be very good, right? If he's a very aggro player, hyper ganking is good quality. Being too reactionary is bad. But he doesn't look for the win condition lane. He sometimes struggles. He has decent comms, and he likes having another frontliner saying, "All right," or diver saying, "Who are we going on here?" And obviously, you need comms in the back line and the front line for or the diving for target selection. He also holds objectives pretty well, so I'm actually on the fence of putting him in A or B. Is slightly difficult for me because I don't think I saw Tangent's full potential last season. I think he performs like B to C, but I do think he's an A tier jungler. With all that being said, until we see more from Tangents, I am actually going to have to put him B. Arrow. I didn't see much from Arrow last season. He was on the crew. In my opinion, he did get war crimed a lot. He knew how to dive towers. He wasn't super reactionary. He was aggro. He had some odd picks like Erlong and better where Erlong wasn't great. He also does play Ratatasker and other picks though. I'm pretty sure the crew did get like 2 or 3 wins last season. Not just game wise, not set wise. I'm not sure if they won the set. I really don't know how his comms are, but from what I've seen, I would say he's either B or C. I don't know his comms. He did perform decent on Erlang and Rat. I will say B tier, and I'm going to put probably a star here because I really don't know his comms. Captain Tryhard, I guess he has okay comms. I've heard it before. He doesn't have good mechanics. He has meta god picks like Thor, but he doesn't execute it well. And when I say mechanics, he does have really bad mechanics. And I don't want, I'm not one to really BM, and he seems super nice in VC, but I am going to have to put him probably a solid D tier here. I have not teamed with him. This is just what I've seen from prospects, other people, and just listening to him overall. Caster. Now, this is gonna be super arguable. I'm putting, or not really. I'm putting myself star. Best jungler in my opinion. The reason why I'm putting myself best jungler, not trying to ego. I just think I am overall the best jungler. I play off my win condition. I have a super. I have a waterfall of gods that I know how to play, right? And typically, I have the most experience here, like from competitive play to ranked. In ranked, maybe only Jinx may have more games than me, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't with all my accounts. But again, I have the most experience as a jungler. I know the most metas. I have played at the highest level of play of probably any Sparta player. Last season I didn't really get to jungle. I got to jungle for one set, which it was against arguably the second strongest team. And I all I'm saying is when my team was super far down, I did get a triple kill. I did just return to the video game. But yeah, I've been performing in other leagues. I've been performing in prospects. The captains know I have really good comms. They know I have really good mechanics. Even a lot of the Athens players do realize I know what I'm talking about. So with all that being said, not Tigo or anything. I do think I'm the best jungler. I do think if you don't like first or second pick me, I do think you're throwing, honestly, because I can almost guarantee you a win. But that's just me. You don't have to believe me, but if you first or second pick me, I guarantee you a win. I'll get you that shiny lightning bolt you need. You want that shiny lightning bolt to drop me. I will crush everyone here. It's not even close. All right, going on next. D Lizard. Honestly, I said B tier previously. I'm gonna say A tier. He has phenomenal comms. He has a pretty good god pool. Super versatile. He does play off the win condition lane, and he doesn't even have to be the shot caller, but usually I'm pretty sure he is, at least from prospects. And this guy is always in a good mood. Doesn't tilt whatsoever. Super good jungler tab. Tort. Now, in my opinion, Tort's a really good jungler. He knows win conditions. He's not reactionary. He knows when to dive. He could play as a carry. He could play as supportive. He could play as an initiator. He's super versatile. One of the things though is I feel like his comms are very monotone. Which is, I wish Tort would just speak up more because he has such good things to say, but I feel like a lot of times he doesn't just react like he cares, right? But Tort is easily one of the best junglers in this league. Definitely a star. Facts relaxed. I don't know anything about him really. I'm not gonna comment. Favor Saber. Uh, comms are messy. Mechanics are messy. He typically doesn't play off the win condition lane. I'm gonna have to put him D tier. Frog reformed. From what we've seen recently, I'm gonna put him C tier. He has good comms. He knows how to bait things. I'm not sure if he plays off the win condition lane, and he doesn't really have a good macro. He doesn't really farm that well, in my opinion, right? I feel like he could look for invades way more often. He could like project like, hey, I'm gonna go for this, and I feel like, but to be fair, he went into comps that he wasn't super comfortable with in the prospects, so this ranking may completely change, right? I haven't seen that much from him. So I'm gonna put a star right here. Gatogryph. Uh, Good jungler. Decent comms. Doesn't really tilt. I do think he's the weakest out of the people I'm going to put star. And I'm gonna just say he's not a jungler that's good at 1v1s, right? If you want to know his weak point, it is forcing 1v1s with him. It is going an early game dominant oriented jungler in WK and Gato. Gato will just die, honestly. He's picking Ryan, he's picking Thana, just fight him in the jungle, cut off his rotation, force his ultimate, and you're really good to go. Gato does play off win condition lanes. He likes a quick in and out style. He will just immediately dive, but sometimes he will dive when people have relics up, and he will overcommit. And his god pull, it's a bit shaky with not having a Susano, honestly. And his Thor isn't the greatest either. I mean, I'm in a similar pool. My Thor and Susano, not the greatest. But again, that does make your god pool kind of flaky if you don't have Thor and Susano right now. Because Susano's really good into gods like Kukulkan, Thoth. Same with Thor, honestly. And he also doesn't play warrior jungles either, from what I've seen. So again, the god pool here is certainly lacking. He is definitely the weakest out of the stars we put so far. Jinx Q, A tier. A tier because for one, he can't play Camzots. For two, he knows win condition lanes, but sometimes he will play too scared. He'll play too reactionary. He'll play too much as a pacifist. That has always been Jinx's problem from what everyone says, and I 100% agree. You have to be way more aggro. You have to be way more confident, and you should be playing TTK oriented junglers. Like if I see Jinx on my team, I want him on a Wheelix. I want him on heck. Try Camazotz. Honestly, even though you have ping, just hit those projectiles, right? I want to see you on a pick like Ramana. I don't think it completely suits your playstyle. I think you just like TTK dominant ones. You like the immediate burst. Just my opinion. A super good jungler could easily go to star tier if you increase your god pool and stop being super reactionary. Super good jungler, super underrated. Go to the next one. Karen. Only plays a Wheelix, F tier. Doesn't play off win condition. Doesn't seem to know how to jungle that well. That's really all I have to say, really. I'm expecting him maybe 3, 4 times, and every time it's been slightly disappointing. You know, you go in your main primary pick, you know, you're picking out this Wheelix, and you're not showing good results. And, you know, that's always a problem. And prospects, you know, especially right now, a lot of people are taking these prospects seriously, and anyone who says they aren't, they're lying. I'm telling you straight up right now, a lot of the people here are like playing legitimately. They are trying to build comps. I like anyone who degrades like these just because they're quote unquote prospects. I mean, they're not worth their time. Like, yeah, people like underclass, yeah, people like spades, saying these ridiculous things, right? And the only reason why people like Gato, Expert, Omni, the only reason why they're riding bandwagon is because they don't want certain junglers to be picked. They really don't. They know they'll get stomped on, right? But yeah, we're going to next King Koopa. Solid B tier. Actually has a good god pool. Uh, he has decent comms. But then he goes quiet mid game. He's a bit too reactionary for my taste. His mechanics are good, but he is reactionary to the point where you might as well not have a jungler. He relies on his team way too heavily. I would like to see more coming out of King Koopa here. Right, again, good god pool, decent comms, lovely voice, but again, he's way too reactionary. For this, I'm playing in B tier. Like Thane, haven't seen Mendosaki. Uh, Kind of hard to rank him, but I'm still going to say have to proceed with the star because he could potentially be B. Like in the earlier prospects, he was not performing at all. Recently he's been playing Ravana very well. He's been playing like an A tier jungler. He's going for win conditions. He's not playing reactionary anymore. Like in earlier prospects, he did not perform well, but he is currently performing very well, right? And that's really all that matters. Like improvement. You know, fuck it, I'm playing in B tier. And you know, he could definitely improve. With that being said, I'm gonna go to the next one. Miko. I did have him at star tier, but he hasn't been fragging every prospect. And the ones he has, he's been going Thanatos, right? He's been going a pub stomper. On actual team right now, he does have a dodgy, but again, even when he was on dodgy in the last season, I remember while scrimming against him, I easily kept him out. I'm gonna say A tier. I think his jungle pathing is horrendous, honestly. Let's see. His team, I think he struggles most in team fighting. He's good at ganking, but his team fighting is way, way, way too messy to put him anything higher than A, right? His pathing is also not that great. He has to work on his pathing. He has to work on his team fighting. He has a really good god pull. And from what I've seen, he does also have to work on his comms, from what some people on the Jesters said in BC. But you know, that's just going from a third source or a secondary source, right? That's secondhand right there. I'm not sure about Nori's comms firsthand. Let me state that right now. No, he could be fired. You know, this could be a fire bolt or a lightning bolt right here, right? But I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. You know, I'm on the fence. Okay, power. Let me put my true opinions on power here, right? I think a very talented player has a lot of potential. Does he have experience? He doesn't have that much experience. Is he overhyped? Yes. I remember in GSL, he had to drop out of the lower division because he just couldn't carry the lower division. I also offered him a spot on the higher division, and he did not take the opportunity to do so. Or he was going to, but I guess he got busy with life, and that is always a fair assertion. You should always prior life over a fucking game. But as I was saying, even in QSL, after one loss, he really lost his mental, right? He got too demoralized. And there is very limited gods he couldn't play, and he really loses his comms very quickly. He doesn't have great comms, too. Again, I will say some things. He has great mechanics. He has great pathing. And he could be silent, and he could be just like Vanitas, and he could just frag people completely. But there are so many downsides that I cannot even put him A tier. I'm sorry, Palette is certified B tier, right? He has to show more feats, and he has to show more results, and he has to speak more, and he has to not get tilted. There's so many things, right? Printers, F tier. No other explanation. Moving on. Rushology, I think he's a better jungler than he is an ADC. He disagrees. No, I pull cap on that. Rushology makes a great, great, great jungler. He actually comes, he encourages the team, and he does have a pretty good god pool. And his jungle mechanics, it's not like he doesn't get console diff. He hits all his abilities on jungle. So with that being said, I'm actually going to play some A. He does play off the wing condition lane. He has good team fighting, and he has good ganks. The only thing he struggles with typically is half the siege, which is the only reason why he's not star tier. I think he has potential. He has a lot of potential here. Uh, no idea, no idea, no idea, no idea. Underclass, C tier. So with underclass, I mean he has some good gods. He doesn't have great mechanics. Sometimes he misses abilities. He doesn't have great pathing in the jungle. Honestly, he doesn't really go for wing conditions either. I'm not sure what underclass does, honestly. I'm gonna have to put him D tier. I'm sorry, man, but like even when I saw you in CSL, you weren't showing results. And what I've seen so far, you don't show results. I'm gonna put a star here because maybe I'm underrating him heavily, and I definitely have to see more from him. But maybe he does have potential. I don't know. I originally ranked Simon. Honestly, I don't know where he stands. I'm gonna put him at I don't know. Zexy. I do think he's an A tier jungler. He has good pathing. I don't think he plays off of wing conditions, but he has good jungle pathing. He knows what to do late game in team fights. He knows how to siege and split lanes. He's good on defensive. He's good on offensive. The only thing he really has to focus on is being more hyper aggro early and playing off of wing conditions. But again, if he does this, he could be an easily star tier. With all that being said, did I rank Airhead? D tier. If I'm playing him B tier, I'm sorry, I have to put Airhead B tier. That'd be wrong not doing that because Airhead did completely nuke him. And now we're going to put gaps, right? So first gap right here. Insert one column above. Oh, we're gonna put this. And we're gonna put a complete gap here. And we are gonna put this in the middle. This is a gap, right? We're gonna put it in third down. Major gap, and small gap. That's a major gap right there. Right here is going to be also a major gap. Adora, D-Lizard, Jinx Q, Miko, Roshology, all these with Hyper Gank. So as it currently stands, I will say, insert one above, I will say there is a gap right here. So Zexy and Airhead. There's definitely a gap here too. Airhead, Tangents. I do think Tangents is better than Air. I wish I could actually change it. Actually, I'm doing this so he's more so on the bottom. Hmm. Actually, I'm gonna place him B tier for now, but B tier, B. But thing is, I want to put Tangents, but you know what? Now I'm gonna put Power right here. This, do this. Perfect. Insert number above. Yeah. Let's see. For all this, insert one row above. Yeah. I'm gonna put major gap here. And honestly, this is, in my opinion, a pretty accurate tier list of what I think OSL junglers are at right now. Feel free to agree, disagree, but this is what I currently think. I'm not sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not sure 7 of them. I think these are the weakest junglers in the league right here. I think these are weak junglers in the league. I think these are the mid tier junglers, right? Right here. I think these two are the mid tier junglers. I think these are good junglers, and I think these are the three top junglers in the league. If you agree, you agree. If you disagree, you disagree, And the thing about jungle is having an ego, right? And believe me, you pick me first, you pick me second. I'm gonna completely rank everyone. I'm gonna abolish. You don't need to be that guy. And this could have been a complete advertisement to say draft me, but I'm gonna leave it there. You want to draft me? Feel free to draft me. If you don't, you don't. But you know what? It is what it is, brothers. Love you all and everyone.